The flow source is the start of the gas calculations. So you can choose to locate this on the gas main where you might get a high pressure. And then in another video, we'll cover adding regulating valves to change the pressure. However, if you don't want to do that, you can also just locate the flow source where the regulator will be and choose the pressure to be the outlet pressure. Regardless of what you choose to do, pick the flow source from the toolbar, locate it on the design, enter in the pressure that you want to start your calculations at, and the height is important because any vertical pipe difference between the flow source and any appliance will be included in the index length calculation. To draw pipes, you have a few different options in the toolbar. It's split up between reticulation pipes, which are usually like your horizontal distribution through the floor, your connection pipes, which are usually your branch connections to fixtures, and then you can draw multiple pipes at once, and we'll cover a riser in a different video. The reason these are split up is because you can set different parameters in the settings here on the flow systems, so different materials, different velocities, and things like that. So let's choose copper. Now anywhere I click, I can start drawing, but if you want to connect to something, as you hover over it, you can see a little blue plus symbol. And then it's just like drawing polylines at this point. Everywhere you click, it will draw. In the bottom left here, it's important to see there is a height to everything you draw. If you're doing a more concept design and don't care about being fully accurate, I wouldn't worry about the height. But if you want to be accurate for all your pressure and heat loss calculations, then you can control the height with the up and down arrows on the keyboard. So as I press up on the keyboard, we'll see that black semicircle appear, and we'll see the height in the bottom left change. And once again, if I press down, we'll see a new semicircle. You can also see down here that the length is kept track of. So if you're drawing a certain length, you can control that there. And you can hold shift if you want to draw a funny angle. You can do that. And then now that will still snap to 90-degree planes from that angle, or the traditional 90-degree. One thing to be aware of, though, if you have drawn a funky angle by accident and you want to straighten that out, just dragging this causes problems, especially when this is connected. So what I would do in this case, I wouldn't try and, you can hold shift again and straighten it out, but you'll never get it perfect. The easiest thing to do, honestly, is right click, drag a box over it, delete, and once again, just draw your pipes. It's much faster. And yeah, of course, if you want to move these around, really easy to modify. If you want to change the height after it's been drawn, you can do that here as well. So as we change this from 9 to 8, those semicircles appear. And then if you want to override any properties, like maybe this section of pipe for some reason is an existing stainless steel pipe. So override, make it stainless steel, and maybe you know the diameter is 2 inches. Once you've set that, all the calculations will run with that in mind, and it's highlighted yellow. So for someone reviewing it, even yourself, you can always remember that there's something different about that pipe. If you want to draw a PEX pipe, it works exactly the same way. Just obviously when we click on this now, it's using a PEX with a different velocity compared to copper. And then the last one I'll show here is the multi-pipes. So the way this works is whatever is highlighted in this circle, so here there will be 2 pipes, here it's 3 pipes. You can now start, if all your pipes are following the same route, start clicking that around. And once again, in the bottom left, you can control the height if you want to. And those pipes can be individually moved, deleted, or whatever needs to happen. And if you're trying to connect to something, such as, let's say, a booster pump here, it is somewhat easy to hover over the connection point and come back, and then it will snap, as we saw just then, so that you can get the 90-degree angle. But sometimes it can be fiddly. So let's say we, another way to do it, which we recommend sometimes, is to just draw straight past it instead of trying to get it accurate. Draw in to make the connection, and then you can just click on that and delete that pipe. The same if we had a fixture here. We brought this pipe up. can try and hover over it and snap it again, which you can do, but sometimes it's easier and faster to do something like this. So whatever works best for you. If you add a riser, just add that anywhere, it will default to the bottom of the ground floor to 3 meters above the top floor. And you can control the height of each level here, by the way. But let's say we wanted to offset this on level 2. So maybe at 8.7 meters, so 2.7 meters above level 2, maybe we want to offset it. So that means for this riser, we would say we want the top height to be 2.7 meters above level 2. Now what that means is below that number, it's going to show, but above, because it's stopping at 8.7 and this floor's at 9, it's not showing. And then if we want to do the next riser, so let's say we want to just offset to here. This riser, we can have the bottom height. We want to limit that. So we want to have the bottom height as 2.7 as well. And then if you're drawing a pipe, it does default to whatever's in the settings, so maybe 3. So if you just want to use that with the arrows on your keyboard, to say 2.7. As you can see now, the pipe offsets and the riser comes up to this level. To add demand to the gas system, one option is to use the appliance here. You can click to locate that anywhere on your design. You can give it a name, enter an abbreviation, change the height of the floor connection, change the dimensions of the appearance, but most importantly, you'll need to enter in a flow rate. You can choose to add diversity if you'd like to. So any single pipe supplying the appliance will use 100% diversity, but as more appliances or nodes connect, it will use the diversity you set. And the inlet pressure can be set at an upstream regulator, but feel free to put in your own pressure requirement here. Adding valves to your gas system is a really simple process. So you can choose from any of these in the toolbar, and as that valve touches a system, it will connect to it. So if we want to add 2 isolation valves here and here, click Escape. They are now included on the design. It's important to add them because they do contribute to friction loss through the system. So if you don't put them in, the results won't be as accurate, but it's up to you on how accurate you want to be. For the meter, which following the same process to add, there is varying pressure drops in the industry. So with these, they default to 0 kPa, and it's completely up to you if you want to do 0.1 or whatever it may be. Just enter in your own pressure drops. And then for the gas regulator, always make sure it's facing the direction of the flow with this arrow. So if it's facing this direction and my flow source is on the left and my appliance on the right, it's not going to work. So yeah, just make sure to flip it. And then here we've got 2 pressures. One is the outlet pressure of the regulator. So really what pressure do we want on the outlet? So I'm just going to go say 0.21 kPa. And then what downstream pressure do we want? So this is what pressure are we aiming for at all the appliances and nodes downstream. So you can add them at all the nodes and appliances, but if we put it in here, so maybe it's 0.2, so a little bit of pressure drop, it just means we can set that in one central place. And very important that this number is higher than this number, because if there's no pressure drop allowed, it's not going to be able to size the pipe because there is pressure drop through the pipe.